The meaning of true freedom in Stoicism. Once, in a small village by the sea, there lived a man named Marcus. He was not the richest man in the village, nor the strongest, but he was known for his calm mind and steady heart. While others complained about storms, bad harvests, or the harsh rule of the local governor, Marcus remained undisturbed. People often asked him, "How can you be so free when the world is full of chains?" Marcus would smile and say, "True freedom is not about the world outside. It is about the world within." This is the wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us what it means to be truly free. Many believe that freedom is the power to do whatever we want, to have no limits, no masters. But the Stoics saw deeper. They understood that no one can control the world around them. Storms will come. Rulers will rise and fall. People will act as they wish. But there is one thing no one can take from us unless we allow it: our mind. Marcus knew this well. One day, the governor of the village ordered all fishermen to give half their catch to the soldiers. The villagers were angry. They shouted, "This is unfair. We are not slaves." But Marcus simply nodded and continued his work. His friend, a fisherman named Lucius, asked him, "Why do you not resist? Do you not care about freedom?" Marcus replied, "I care deeply for freedom. That is why I do not let another man's greed disturb my peace." Lucius frowned. "But they are taking what is ours. How is that freedom?" Marcus looked at the sea and said, "If a man steals my fish, he takes only what I cannot keep. But if I let his actions fill me with anger, he steals something far greater: my peace, my reason, my freedom to choose how I feel." This is the first lesson of Stoic freedom. What happens to us does not define our freedom. How we respond does. Many years before Marcus, there was a great Stoic philosopher named Epictetus. He was born a slave, his body owned by another man. Yet, even in chains, he said, "No one can enslave my mind." When his master once twisted his leg to punish him, Epictetus calmly said, "You will break it." The master twisted harder, and the bone snapped. Epictetus then said, "Did I not tell you it would break?" His master was shocked. He had expected screams, tears, begging. But Epictetus showed him that pain could not control his spirit. Later, when Epictetus gained his freedom, he taught others that true liberty is not in the body, but in the will. This brings us to the second lesson. Freedom is not the absence of obstacles, but the power to choose our thoughts in the face of them. Imagine two prisoners in a cell. One spends his days shaking the bars, cursing the guards, dreaming of the outside. The other sits quietly, reading books in his mind, thinking, reflecting. Who is more free? The Stoics would say the second man, because his mind is his own. Marcus often told a story of a king who had everything: gold, palaces, armies. Yet the king was never at peace. He feared losing his power, worried about enemies, and could not sleep at night. One day he met a poor philosopher who owned nothing but a cloak and a bowl. The philosopher slept soundly under the stars and laughed often. The king asked, "How can you be so free when you have nothing?" The philosopher replied, "How can you be free when you are owned by your possessions?" This is the third lesson. Freedom comes from mastering our desires, not serving them. The Stoics teach that we are prisoners when we cling to things outside our control: wealth, fame, the opinions of others. If we need these things to be happy, we give others power over us. But if we train ourselves to desire only what we can control, our judgments, our actions, our character, then no one can take our freedom. Marcus lived this truth. When his house burned down, he lost everything. The villagers pitied him. "Poor Marcus," they said. "No, he has nothing." But Marcus stood in the ashes and said, "I still have my mind. I still have my virtues. I am still free. This does not mean Stoics do not feel pain or loss. It means they do not let pain or loss define them. They accept what cannot be changed and focus on what can, their own choices. One winter, a sickness spread through the village. Many died, including Lucius' wife. Lucius fell into despair. "Why did the gods take her? Life is cruel," he cried. Marcus visited him and said, "The gods did not promise us a life without suffering, but they gave us the strength to bear it." Lucius shouted, "What strength? I am broken." Marcus replied softly, "A ship does not sink because of the water around it, but because of the water that gets inside. Do not let grief drown your soul. Honor her by living well." Slowly, Lucius understood. He could not bring his wife back, but he could choose how to carry her memory, in bitterness or in love. This is the final lesson. Freedom is found in acceptance and the courage to endure. The Stoics believed in amor fati, the love of fate. Not because fate is always kind, but because fighting what cannot be changed is like shouting at the wind. True freedom is saying, "This is what has happened. Now, what will I do with it?" So, what does true freedom look like in daily life? It is the worker who loses his job but says, "This is a chance to grow, not the end of my worth." It is the athlete who fails but thinks, "I did my best. The result is not mine to command." It is the parent who loves their child without demanding that the child fulfill their dreams. Freedom is not in having no master, but in being the master of yourself. Marcus grew old, and though his body weakened, his spirit remained unbroken. On his last day, he sat by the sea, watching the waves. A young man asked, "Are you not afraid of death?" Marcus smiled. "Why should I fear what I cannot escape? I have lived by my principles. That is freedom enough." And so, the Stoics' freedom is simple but profound. It is the unshakable will to own nothing but yourself. The world may take your money, your health, even your loved ones, but it cannot take your mind unless you surrender it. So ask yourself, what chains have you placed on your own thoughts? What do you believe you need to be free? And what if the key to your prison has been in your hand all along? For the Stoics, true freedom is not a place. It is a way of thinking. And that is a freedom no one can take from you.